Good afternoon and welcome to Spectrum Lakeland's MyChart, presented by the Campus for Creative Aging, a division of Region 4 Area Agency on Aging. My name is Amy Nichols. I am the campus coordinator for the Campus for Creative Aging, a very cool place where we make aging fun and educational and really cool, except for the fact that COVID has closed our front doors. So we had to pivot a little bit and learn to do things differently and creatively, of course. And here we are. We now do everything via Zoom until such time as we feel it's safe to gather back together again. So this is a class we normally teach in person, but we are really happy to have Bob Hopkins with us today to teach this via Zoom and answer all your questions and kind of help you navigate through MyChart. So without further ado, I am going to turn this over to Bob, but I forgot one more thing. At the end of this, we're gonna have a little discussion, Bob, about vaccine signups and kind of where to go, and so people have an idea of what is happening, right?
We can do that.
Awesome. Well, on that note, Bob, over to you. I'm gonna stop this sharing, and I know you're gonna do your screen share, and we'll be ready to roll. So it's all you.
Okay. And I'm going to share screen now. All right. I trust you're looking at my computer screen.
We are.
Okay. I am going to access MyChart. I'm going to get there by going to Google, but any search engine works fine, and type in Spectrum. See, as soon as I started typing that in, Google said, hey, I bet he wants Spectrum Health Lakeland. I'm going to click on that. And as soon as I get to Spectrum Health Lakeland, one of the choices there is MyChart. And I'm going to click on that. This should be an easy way to bring MyChart up. Okay, their welcome screen has new things almost every time you sign on. So you can read that. I'm going to click on the login portion so that I can sign into Lakeland MyChart. And this has become Spectrum Health Lakeland MyChart. Before I sign in, I'll tell you that MyChart is a computer program designed by Systems, and it's sold to all hospitals in the US. You'll find many hospitals in there. Not everyone has it. It requires a hospital large enough to afford to pay Epic's tab. And while if you haven't signed into MyChart, or if you haven't been there before, then every hospital's is separate and different. So you're signing in, you'll see me sign in to Spectrum Health Lakeland, and that will not let me access any of the other hospitals that MyChart is sold to. Got to first type in my username. I was introduced as Bob Hopkins, and being kind of dim on the creativity bulb, I went with Bob Hopkins as my user ID. And the hospital, when you sign up, always check sure that your user ID is available. I was lucky. And then I'll type in my password. I'm not going to share that with you.
But you do have it written down somewhere, right?
Yeah, I have I keep a spreadsheet of all of my passwords for all of the applications I sign on to. And it's in a pretty sneakily secret place that would be difficult to stumble on. And I never use the same password on more than one application.
Good plan.
Okay. I am going to see what they have to say to me. This is the MyChart welcome home page. And up at the top menu is the button I'm going to press on. It will bring up all of the different things that you can do while you're in MyChart. I'll show you, give you an idea of how long this list of things is. Pretty lengthy. You're only going to probably wind up using a couple of them, though. We'll start at the top and work our way down. I'll click on Schedule an Appointment. You can only schedule appointments with doctors that you have already had appointments with. They are the ones who enter all of the information into MyChart, and they're the ones that you can sign up, get an appointment with. Now, it says that the choices are schedule with a specific provider or tell us why you're coming in. And I'll start out with a new problem visit. I have a feeling that it's going to ask me which doctor I want to see, but let's click on it and see what happens. Okay. Which locations work for you? My choices are the offices that are operated by the doctors that I have met with. So those are the only choices. We'll set this one for Southwestern Medical Clinic in St. Joe. And continue. Then it says, what time works for you? And it's offering me the ability to start on April 10th, which is days from now. And I'm given a choice of the openings that office has available right now on their schedule. I'll pick 11:15 in the morning, so I can sleep in a little bit later. All right, it says you're almost done. Click the schedule button. If everything looks correct, I'm going to show you a little bit more of the screen. And it's asking me to fill out what is the primary reason for this visit, since you said you had a new problem. Golf swing not working correctly. There.
Which is also why you can't make an early morning appointment, right? Because you're...
Well, that could play into it as well. Now, before scheduling, I can choose to the wait list and be notified if earlier appointments open up. And because this is as critical a problem as it is, I'm going to choose that. But I'm not going to actually push the schedule button. If I wanted to test Dr. Benson's sense of humor, then I would I would push that schedule button to walk you all the way through this, but you can trust me when I tell you that when you click on that schedule button, it will send that over to Dr. Benson's office. I'm going to click on menu now, and that should take me back to that home page we were looking at. And next thing after schedule an appointment is view care team. So let's see who's taking care of me. If you leave this page, you'll lose all of your progress and your appointment will not be scheduled. I'll take that chance. Okay. This is my care team. When you call up, we'll see your care team. And some of the things it offers you the ability to do when you're looking at your care team is to send them a message or schedule an appointment. Now, we have already seen how to schedule an appointment. We're not going to go there. And I'm not going to click on send message either, because we'll find that in the main menu. And I want to focus on the main menu. So it shows you who your doctors are that in this MyChart system. The next thing offered down the list is communication, that is messages. And the messages comes up with looking at my inbox. These are messages that the MyChart system has sent to me. The most recent said that an appointment I had was rescheduled. That's accurate. My doctor, one of my service providers, one of my care team, recently retired, and I have a new physician there. So when I looked at my care team, I saw one new doctor and one that's not there anymore. I'll see how long it takes them to remove that name. So this lets you click on the message that they sent. It said original appointment and time scheduled because the provider requested that it be changed. I'm going to delete that message. All right, now it's gone. Now let's look at sent messages. These are all my questionnaires that I have sent in response to questions that MyChart has given me. Next thing I'm going to do is to look at ask a question. All right, this is that send a message to the provider that we saw earlier when looking at our care team. And I can send a quick question to my provider. So I first have to pick which of my providers I want to send them at. We'll go with Dr. Benson again. Select a subject. I don't see golf swing there. I guess it'll be a non-urgent medical question. My golf swing. I won't continue on. I'm sure that you've heard enough about my golf swing. ready.
Well, I guess the urgency would depend on how bad it really is, right?
That's true. It really, yeah, perhaps I should have chosen a different category.
I can do
Now,
jokes all day on this.
now I have the ability from this screen, after I've described my problem, I can attach an image to this message and send it in. And it's possible that if I had a short video from my phone of my golf swing in action, why words would not be required anymore. He'd be able to see for himself. But instead of sending that, I'm going to cancel that question. So we're back to asking questions. Question you can ask here is request a medication refill. I'm not going to talk to you about one yet because we go to that from the main menu, and they have opportunities spread throughout MyChart that you could encounter those opportunities in places where you don't expect to see them. Let's go back to the menu. Okay. Ask a question. That will be exactly the same part of messages that we already looked at, and we've taken it through. You can look at letters. I have no letters on file. I think it's kind of unusual to have letters in MyChart. But if you have letters, that's where you'll find them. Go back to the menu and see what request your information tells us. Okay, this is an authorization to release patient information. And you can choose at my request, or changing doctors, or continuing care. These are their opportunities for you to, why do you need this? And they get into legal, military, and school, and other. So I could perhaps have them disclose to my golf course what some of my, well, no, let's not go there anymore. Information to be used, you could choose your complete record, your evaluation for admission, many opportunities here to request records. See how long that list is. Okay, and you can include records from and a to date down in the bottom of the request. Delivery method, whether you'd like it mailed to you, whether you want to pick it up, or you just want to have them shown in MyChart. And if you pick MyChart, then it'll ask you for what are the usernames of the people that you want it disclosed to. Going back to the menu now. Okay, we've finished with communication and moving down into my record. Okay, visits. It shows you what your upcoming visits are. And when you get within 2 weeks of your next visit, they will send you a form that you can fill out to pre-register for your on the internet using the that they'll give you to fill out. And it beats the heck out of sitting in the doctor's office and filling those out by paper. It sort of lets you sneak into the head of the line. Never miss an opportunity to fill these before I get there. And my advice to you would be to do that as well. Going back to, well, that's upcoming and past visits. Let's see how far back we have the visits going. Go back pretty far. Now I can come down to the bottom and say click load or past visits. And it says below that the oldest record loaded is from February 11th, 2020. So that's the oldest that I've got in there right now, as far as visits are concerned. But I think that, in fact, I know they save information longer than that. Going back to the menu. You can look at your test results that the doctors have released so that you can see them. And you can choose whether you want to show hospital visits in that list or not. So you'd only see visits to your doctor in there. I always like to show all the hospital results as well, though. If I'm going to be looking stuff up, I want it to be all inclusive. And I'm going to come down till I find, let's see, something, CBC with differential. Sounds exciting. Let's look at it. Okay, this has the component results of this particular visit. And I can look at past results as well. And these past results, they have what my values were from, well, since August 28th, 2010, long time ago, up to the most recent visit. Or I can say I only want the last 10 values. Let's only look at the last 3 values. Okay, so now I'm looking at ones from May of 2018, August of 18, and February of 20. And I can see what all the numbers are and see how the numbers are progressing. See whether I'm getting better or worse. The part I like best is graph of past results. It's easier for me, being kind of a visual person, to see whether things are getting better or not, looking at it quickly. Not seeing a lot of change there. They're all 0. This one all, okay. This shows some changes in value. And this shows also what the graph is for. This one is for, let's see. This graph is for what they've got listed down below here. Okay, you can see how your values change over time. And clearly that's a graph of my weight.
Clearly, I'm still not over the last class where you taught me where the weight one was, and I looked at it during class.
Okay, let's go back. We've seen, I think, a good bit of information about test results here. Medications. This shows the medications you are on. And This is where I do my refills from, is when I look at my medications. And while I'm looking at each one, I can request a refill of this one. And it'll tell me next. And it says I've got 3 refills before July, so I really don't need to request another refill. All I have to do is call up the pharmacy and them to refill it. The doctor doesn't need to get involved with this. When you request a refill here, this request is going to go to your physician who gave you that prescription in the first place. I'm going to click on next to see if it takes me there. I have a, it'll say you don't need another refill. You still have all kinds of refills due. Okay, delivery method. The only choice is pick up at the pharmacy. Pardon me.
So I have a standing like emergency refill. And when I try to do this, it automatically refills it for me. I like to just have it sitting there when I need it, you know. And so that's not one of the options, huh?
I have at Myers, all I have to do is call in and use their phone refill, looking at the label. Walgreens has an online system that lets you go in and pick out your refills. When I am looking for a refill of a prescription, the only time I'll ask for a refill in MyChart is when I've used up all of my refills that are on the prescription label. And if I were to go to Myers and say, you don't have any prescriptions here anymore, you've used up your last one, so then I need it refilled.
Okay.
Now, this one saying Meyer Pharmacy, this is not something that is going to get sent to the pharmacy. This is to the doctor's office to tell them which pharmacy you want them to send a prescription to. This is, I can choose other things here. Nope, that's the only one that the doctor's office has for me for that prescription. So if I wanted to change it, I could click on that when I ask for a refill. And I'd also indicate a note to the doctor saying, hey, I just requested a change in my pharmacy, so be sure and check that out when you fill it up. Okay. We are back to the menu again. And the medication shows all of the medications you're on and lets you request refills from your doctor. My health summary, oh, we're going to continue without saving. So okay, now we're back to health summary. So they have everything that you've ever complained about, whether you meant it or not. It's all right there. Whoops, where did that go? That didn't work correctly.
No, but it's a great picture of your family.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I think it's hiding your face.
let's see, I am screen sharing, it says.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having a hard time finding my way back to where I was screen
If you
sharing
just,
from.
yeah, if you
So,
go stop your screen share, it might help you.
okay, I'll stop that and we'll switch back
Stop
in.
that, and then you can see where you
Give-
need to be at, because it does kind of screw
Yeah.
it up sometimes when we're in Zoom. I find it easier to stop, recollect, and start again.
Okay, let's go back to MyChart
There you go.
and get signed in again.
One of the joys of teaching online,
Yes,
and
indeed.
the joys of having too many windows open, tabs open too.
Yes.
Always. If I don't have 25 open in a day, I don't consider it a successful day.
All right, now let's get on Zoom and get back to screen sharing.
There you go. It's thinking about it.
It's mulling it over.
It's contemplating.
I must have to, do I have to click? I must have this thing that says share.
Yes, that's that button.
Okay, waiting for me to do that.
Now you're back
Right.
in business.
We are. Okay. My conditions show you the conditions that they have for you. And really, if you have a planned out schedule laid out ahead of you, then you can see for what they've got for you. Now, this one says you're scheduled for the following events related to the management of cancer, and there are no schedules for that. And let's see, no events for that. And so that must be my only condition that they've got. Just FYI, it was a form of cancer that has me go visit Lakeside Urology, and they check on it from time to time. So that is my treatment plan, and it's been back to visit on 4 different occasions, and between them and me, we've kicked its butt each time. So we're not carrying any of that baggage right now.
For that, we are very grateful.
Indeed, and I have to believe, like a recovering alcoholic, they're always going to be an alcoholic. They have to remember that. I'm always a cancer patient. If I stop believing that, I'm going to stop getting my checkups, and I could make it happen. I should not. Let's see. Let's look at plan of care. Now, because I have no plan of care for my conditions lined out, I'm not able to demonstrate for you what this would look like. If you have set a plan of care with a team of physicians, you will be able to see that laid out here. Let's see what preventive care has to offer us. Things that it thinks I should be doing. Get your Hep C screening, and told that you should do this ever since you signed on to MyChart. Annual wellness visit. Says my COVID vaccine is overdue. However, that is not accurate. I've had both shots already. Somehow, Berrien County Health Department failed to update my MyChart. And if I were them, I wouldn't touch it. Annual wellness visit. I'm getting ready to request Dr. Benson signs me up for one of those. I may let you watch me request that. No more preventive stuff. Let's go back to the menu. Questionnaires. List contains the questionnaires for upcoming appointments. Now, let's see. Due date is May 14th. So, yeah, it's not really, they're not wanting me to update. They'll send it to me in an updatable format when I get within 2 weeks of that appointment date. Okay, upcoming tests and procedures. I'd be surprised if there's anything there. These are just my visits to my friendly neighborhood urologist. And in between my visits, I drop off samples for testing over at the Lakeland lab. Medical and family history. This is going to be far too ugly for you to even look at. So this is where, remember when you sit in the doctor's office, when you arrive half an hour before your visit is due to fill out all the forms about every disease your family members have ever had that you can remember. This is, you can see what they entered into the system based on what you told them. Health reports. Don't think they've reported me on it to anyone. Newborn feeding information. At my age, really? Let's go back to menu. Let's see, document center. These are all of your visits. We looked at that, requested records, ones that you've asked for. This is where you can view, download, and print documents you have on file. That sounds like a golden opportunity to check it out. All right, my consents for treatment. Insurance cards, I can go see what's on file. Other facility records. Let's see what that is. That brings back fond memories. I think I'll go back out of this. Let's see, what's the best way for me to do that?
There is a red X at the bottom. Is that a deleted or is it an exit?
There is, isn't there? No, that should be, that says delete.
Delete. Oh, no, sorry.
I don't want to do that. I'm going to restore down so I can see all of my open windows. And I am going to close this particular window because we don't need that window open anymore.
There you go.
All right. So they have an unusual assortment of documents that they have kept on you out there. End of life planning. I think area agency probably has a lot of help to work with that. My advice to you would be to go see them instead of filling it out in front of your own computer. That you'll find a lot more assistance.
We even have a class on that, Bob. Thank you for asking.
All right. Pretty high class operation you guys run.
We try.
Okay. Billing summary. Because I've been on Medicare for as long as I have, and I signed up for a Medicare or Medicare supplement plan F that pays for everything that Medicare doesn't, then my amount is always zero at the hospital. Okay. The financial assistance and estimates, if there have been estimates for work that they have prepared for your doctors or for you, that's where you'd find them. Financial assistance, I'd rather handle that in with them instead of over the computer. My insurance summary is boring. I'm not sure what yours would be. Okay. Good. I can show you my Medicare card number. I think we'll go back to menu. Have to be sure and edit that out.
I was just going to say, we can blur that.
Okay, thank you. This is, now that we're getting down near the bottom of menu, we can see it offered share my record. Says who you want to allow to come into MyChart and look at your records. And if you want to do that, this would be the place that you would do that. Have a friends and family access. Okay, I can see my records and no one can see my information other than me. Seems fair. Kind of the way I want it. Now, let's go back here and see if add somebody. Yes, plus invite someone. I could invite somebody to see, and I'd type in the name and a whole bunch of names jump up. That's because Windows is running this. This is required. They want a name. How about FGD? Okay, that'll work. It doesn't do a lot of online editing. Where should we send this invitation? And they'll want an email, and they'll want you to type it in twice because they know you got nothing else to do with your time. And let's see, what kind of access would you like this person to have to your chart? Adult access appears to be the only choice offered. I have a feeling if I click on that, well, let's see if it lets me do anything with it. Yeah, just as I thought, nothing is happening. It won't let me do anything there until I fill out everything up above it. If I put in some email addresses, it'll probably let me move next. And then it would allow me to go down and actually send the invite. Now, this send invite is grayed out right now. It will be activated once you fill out all the information you need filled out. Let's go back to menu. Okay, share everywhere. Sounds intriguing. grant one-time limited access to the health information you can see in MyChart, including medication, allergies, health issues, immunizations. The person accessing your record will also be able to write a clinical note to your care team. So this is giving another doctor who is not in the MyChart system necessarily, or maybe one who's at a MyChart system at a different hospital, give them access to records. And it would allow me to request a share code, which once they give it to me, I'd be able to give it to the individual, and that code would allow them to go in and look at my system, that the information that I am authorizing them to look at. Link my accounts. You remember I said earlier at the start of this meeting that MyChart is like an island for each hospital. And if you've been to several hospitals over the course of time to treat different situations, then you have MyCharts on several different islands. And you can link them all together so that you could sign into one version of MyChart and see everything from all those places. And that's a two-step process. The first thing you have to do is link all of those organizations in. And then you would have to go to Lucy, because Lucy is the MyChart that shows all the linked information, and you would have your own sign-on into Lucy. So I have a feeling when I look in Lucy, it'll look for my sign-on. Okay, yeah, it says clicking the button below will log you out of your health record here, and will take you to Lucy and MyChart Central. So this is where you'll see all of your linked information. But as you go through the process of linking your different islands together, it will tell you about Lucy in those. Just wanted to show you where Lucy is hiding at. She's right here in plain sight if you go down far enough on the menu. You can sign up for research studies if you want to tell a hospital that you'd like to volunteer for different situations. This is a place where you can do that. May we contact you about opportunities to participate in research studies. And this is where it's okay to contact me, fill your profile out, and if your profile says that you should be included in a particular study, they will contact you. Back to the menu. Okay, personal information. I'd be crazy to show you personal information. It's really all of your profile information that you have put in, your security settings, who you allow to view your information. Personalize. If you click on that, it does something quite unusual. And to do that, I'll have to step out of the menu for a moment. The top of MyChart, my particular MyChart, includes visits, ask a question, test results, medication. That's because those are the places that I go to most often. When you sign into MyChart, yours will have some of those things, but it won't have all of them. And I have replaced some of the ones that are there with ones that will save me time. So the place to do that is in personalize. Change your it's change your shortcuts. It's not personalized. Let's go see what personalized does have.
That's where you can put your picture.
Yes. This, I don't see where it's any different from other pages that we've been on that allow other people to have access to your records. Okay, communication preferences, if you prefer to have them email you things or mail things to you. Let's see what the choices they give you are. Okay, whether you want an email, a text, a call, or a hard copy mailed to your mailbox. Okay, alerts and notifications. I don't need that. I wonder if I can make it go away by clicking. No, that just says, now I want you to start mailing it to me. I better click that again because I don't want them to mail it to me. I want emails and phone calls. Appointment confirmation, call. Wonder if they can text me. I have a feeling that because that symbol is not here, I can click here as much as I want and it won't happen. You have to click on the ones where they offer you. It says guest video visit after visit summary message. Boy, no, I don't want that. I don't think I want that. Okay. This is I think a pretty neat way to show you how they will communicate with you, let you set it up the way you want it. Let's go look at menu and see what the next item is. Okay. Other preferences besides communication. We'll continue without saving. And the reason for that is I changed it and then I didn't like the way I changed it, so I changed it back. So I'll leave it the way that it basically. Okay, make changes to your personal preference. You can decide whether you want a female or male doctor. I wonder if there are only two choices. Yep, look at it. The only two choices offered. Language. Lots of choices there. The days you prefer. The start times and end times you prefer. Quite a nice set of preferences. I'm assume that they will follow those preferences. Back to the home page. I think I know what that's going to do. And request access to your child's record. And that's the end of the choices here. So I'm going to click on back to home page. And this is where we come in at. I'll entertain any questions you might have at this point.
Are you able to edit the medical and family history at all?
It does allow you to go in and type in the changes you want, and it becomes the way that MyChart treats that is the patient says that, and it adds that to the bottom of the list. So it's to indicate that this didn't come from a doctor, this came from the patient themselves.
Okay,
So they like to differentiate that.
I see.
And like you, in your medications, you can go in and say, I don't take this anymore. And they'll put a note at the bottom that says, patient says they don't take this anymore. Until a doctor reads it, it stays there.
Okay.
Good question.
Okay. It's been a delight sharing my time with you here. I hope this edits. Excuse me. All that talking drives me out a little. I'm going to get off of sharing screen if you like.
Yes, if you could for a second, and then I am going to go share my screen here. 1 second. And we're going to talk a little bit about where to go find some COVID vaccine information. So thank you for the MyChart. It will come in handy, you'll see when I get to my next screen here, if it cooperates. All right, so can you see my screen, I hope?
I can.
All right, awesome. There are, right now is a great time. Anybody over the age of 16 in the state of Michigan can get a vaccine. So if you haven't gotten one and you're interested in one, there are many, many sources. I tried to hit the highlights of the ones that were mostly in Southwest Michigan, since this is kind of usually our broadcast area. So Spectrum Health Lakeland, we were just talking about, does not require you to have a MyChart, but it does make it handy because there's a sign up link in there as well. But the link to that is spectrumhealthlakeland.org/COVID-19. And then the rest of it that you see on there is easy to find. So if you can remember that, you're good to go. And you can just pick a date and sign up. And they have several different sites, several different days. And they will even be happy enough to tell you which kind of vaccine they're giving you. With the advent of the new Johnson & Johnson vaccine, that is a one and done shot. You only need it once. So that makes things a little bit different for people that are signing up. So you no longer have to kind of schedule it out or schedule your second dose. The Van Buren Cass Health Department is vbcasshd.org, and they have, I know when the day we were filming this, I just got an email, and Amanda probably did too a couple hours ago, that there are sites open tomorrow and tomorrow, Friday, and Tuesday of next week. And I mean, there's a lot of information and a lot of appointments available there. The Berrien County Health Department as well has really done one of the leading jobs, I think, in this side of the state with getting COVID vaccines out there to folks, including working with Spectrum to get them delivered to some of our senior adult, older adult population in their homes. So that's been kind of fun. They are at the bchdmi.org, and then you can go to their COVID vaccine from there. But we will make sure that this is up on our on the video as well, and I will also put it up on our website somewhere so that it's clickable links if you all really want to see this. Walgreens, you have to take a little quiz with Walgreens, but they do a nice job. Meijer, you sign up and then Meijer contacts you on that Meijer, clinic.meijer.com. Rite Aid, you have to answer about 4 questions, and then they're all over the state of Michigan. So if you're anywhere else, you can find that at riteaid.com. Martin's grocery stores, or Martin's supermarkets, depending on what you say, is a Southwest Michigan local that has been really kind of leading. They had vaccinations available before any other grocery store that I know of. So martins-supermarkets.com. Bronson Health Systems is, you do have to have a MyChart for that. And you can link it in Lucy to get into that. So you'll have your own little Bronson MyChart, or they do have a separate MyChart app you can use as well on your phone. But that's how you would schedule it. You must schedule it through your MyChart, bronsonhealth.com, and there's a link there to help you get signed up as well. This one I just got literally while we were doing the filming of this show. The Veterans Administration is having free shots, of course, but they have opened it to family and caregivers of any veteran out there. So if you're a VA or if you're a veteran, you can get your shots through the VA. So visit www.va.gov and you will find the link to the local VAs that do all of that. So if you want
I
a
could
shot,
let you know too,
Mhm.
the St. Joe Lincoln Senior Center, working through the Berrien County Health Department, has another clinic coming up April 22nd, the second shot visit on May 20th.
Nice. All right. Thank you.
And though at this point in time are opened up to, I think, everybody 18 and over.
Okay, fabulous. Yep. And that is the one thing I was just going to caveat. So thank you, is that you must check with each one to make sure that you know which they're opening it up to, because each health department does it just a little bit differently. Every county has kind of their own health department, except for like Van Buren and Cass. They sort of, it's too small to do them, by themselves, so they do them together. They each have their own little set of rules, so you have to figure out what's happening. And then you can also find information on all these websites about the actual vaccine itself, in case you have any kind of worries about allergies or any of that. All of the information is on there. They will give you the ingredient list and more information than you've probably ever wanted to know about a vaccine, but it's there. I know because I read it. I have terrible allergies, so I was very happy to have all of that there to do some research beforehand to make myself feel a little better about the whole thing. So, that's a lot of information today. Thank you very much, Bob. Unless you have any other questions for me. Nope,
Nope,
we're good. All
my
right.
pleasure. Thanks very much.
Thank you. On behalf of Spectrum Health Lakeland, the Region 4 Area Agency on Aging, and the Campus for Creative Aging, we invite you to come back and visit us for another class. All of our classes are on the Campus for Creative Aging website, campusforcreativeaging.org. Feel free to find us there. And this will stay housed on our YouTube channel for information. So thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again.